Hello, KISS Navy, and welcome aboard episode 26 of the KISS Army Nation podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Pasquale Veri.
And I'm Claudio Espera. Welcome to the show, everyone.
So in this episode, we look back and discuss some key moments in our KISS Cruise experience. This is our panel discussion episode, the first of 4 episodes celebrating the KISS Cruise. So to do this, we are joined by returning panel guest Craig Patton. How's it going, Craig?
Hi, KISS Army.
And really happy to have with us once again, Rolla Brown. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, going great.
Hey, Rolla. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. So, before we, it's always nice to have you guys. And I think this is going to be an awesome episode, talking about the cruise. So, but before we get into our journey, I have a quick question for our panel, so our guest panel, Rolla and Craig. So, those people lucky enough to be going on the cruise are looking forward to their experience, because for many, this might be the first major, event in over a year and a half, due to the pandemic. So my question to you is, what was the last major event you guys attended? So it doesn't necessarily have to be KISS related. So what was it? Rolla?
It was actually KISS in February 2020.
Okay.
I had tickets for 2 KISS concerts coming up, one both last month, and both canceled because of Paul and Jean's sickness with COVID.
Right.
So that was kind of a disappointment. But so, yeah, that was February 2020 was really the last event.
Where was it?
Yes. Excuse me?
Where was it?
It was in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay. And what about you, Craig?
Listen, I tried to rattle my brain on this one, which I don't have much to spare there. I think the last time passed was the last time we went to see Iron Maiden. I think it was the last time we were actually in a big event, because the last 2 years has been basically shut in with this COVID stuff. And I think it was Iron Maiden we had seen together.
Do you remember when we saw that?
No.
Well, that must have been because I was there too, and I think that was towards the end of August 2019, maybe a couple of days after KISS played Bell Center on August the 16th. Okay, that's 2019.
So it was after that, and I think that between August and March, when everything got shut down, nothing. That was the last we had seen, and listen, it was a really good concert. We're taken back.
Yeah. Busk, what about you?
For me, actually, it was KISS related. I remember it was in February, the month before the shutdown, and went to see KISS, the tribute band, in the form of orchestra. And that was in Quebec City, and they were playing at a place called the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that was the second time I seen KISS as orchestra. And that was supposed to be like a series of shows that unfortunately didn't pan out because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But I was sitting front row center with people we knew all around us. Just an incredible show. Looking forward to so many more. We ended up leaving for Cocoa Beach with my students. I believe it was a couple of weeks later. We got back, and 4 days later, got back on the Sunday. The following Friday, everything was shut down.
Okay.
So yeah, it was pretty much that KISS show and our Cocoa Beach trip.
Okay.
Corey, how about you?
I heard so many great things about that show from KISS. The orchestra. I could have loved to be there, but in my case, I was trying to scratch my memory, and I was tempted to say August 16th, the KISS show at the Bell Center, but now that Craig brought up the topic of Iron Maiden, so then it was that. So that must have been Iron Maiden. I went with my son and my daughter, close to the mosh pit, so then we had to back off because we were not supposed to be there, but we were so excited. But then everybody started pushing, so then we backed off a bit. But so a long time ago, man. It looks like it was like so long ago, man. I really missed those events, big time.
It's a little off topic, but Craig and I, our next big event is going to be Judas Priest coming up in November 4th.
Right, November the 4th. Yeah.
If it doesn't get canceled here, the way things are going, who knows?
Yeah, I'll have tickets too to go to Judas Priest. Yeah. So
that should be something.
Selling very well. I mean, I saw some things from the States there. They were in, I think, Carolina or something like that recently, and it was like 5,000 people.
Okay.
Half of the venue was full, and listen, I don't think they're making money on the tour. I hope they get a chance to play here in Montreal. This is one of my favorites. But, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so let's begin our KISS Cruise journey down memory lane. So I want to start with the following question. Do you remember, and/or can you describe the feeling you had on your first KISS cruise? I mean, how did you feel walking onto that ship for the first time? We'll start with Craig.
Oh boy. Okay, so that was a fun couple of days, guys, because it was my 50th birthday celebration. And we went with the gang there, and listen, I couldn't sleep the night before. It was so I was so into it, so pumped to go. Walking on that ship was like, okay, what am I expecting? It was KISS Cruise 4, I believe, and Dressed to Kill. And Pascal told me all the memories of the other ones he's been on, and I'm like, okay, I get to experience this. And I don't know, it was just surreal. It was like I was in a fantasy world. Honestly, it was like I couldn't describe it. It was like I just didn't want it to stop.
That's right.
Rolla, what about you?
I love to cruise, so cruising is a big thing for me, and to have your favorite bands on a ship for 4 or 5 days, to me, that was just the ultimate epic adventure. I know when I walked on the ship, I was on the first cruise, and we walked on the ship, we didn't know if there was going to be another cruise, and this was it. And I just kind of felt like we were making history at that moment. And it's we just, goosebumps is all I can say. I mean, it was a big deal. It still is, but it was an epic deal.
Claudia, what about you?
Well, it's funny because every time we talk, about KISS, we talk about emotions and sharing and fans and everything. And, my first cruise was KISS Cruise 3. I think it was 2013. And basically, that was a family trip. So I went with my wife and my son and my daughter. They're all KISS fans, and we were all so excited. But in my case, that it all started with me, trying to pass, the passion to the rest of the family. It felt so great, so awesome. I think I felt so energized like never before in any other KISS related event, to be surrounded by the KISS family, because that's how it felt. It's not only my closest family, but looking everywhere, and everybody was on the same frequency, on the same wavelength. It felt so much excitement, and at the same time I had really big expectations, because I had read so many great things about the cruise, and that's why we took the decision to go. But phenomenal. That's all I can say. What about you, Pascal?
It's hard to answer this question without really speaking out of context, because just describing how it felt going onto the ship doesn't do it justice. It's everything that led up to that particular moment. And I mean, I remember heading for the airport, getting off that plane in Fort Lauderdale, driving to Miami, going on the first KISS cruise pre-party, heading for that ship, seeing that ship in the distance. and then finally getting inside. And I remember that particular cruise wasn't sold out. The first KISS cruise wasn't sold out. And when you picked up your package, when you enter the ship, some people had a surprise extra KISS ticket for a second indoor concert.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, you hear people picking up the package. Some people, yeah. And
Wow.
I remember picking up the package, and I got myself a second concert ticket, and I just lost my mind. Just lost my mind. So right there, wow, what a start,
That's right.
But then walking into the ship, I remember just looking up and I was in awe of my surroundings.
Right.
I've been on cruises before, but this was a KISS cruise. And, seeing the KISS banners everywhere was something else. And, having met people on, at the time it was KISS Cruise Maniacs and the KISS Cruisers page on Facebook, and then seeing people for the first time live. It's like, oh, that's that person, and that's that person, and that's that person. I was like all over the place, and then I remember going for lunch. That's the first place we headed. Is lunchtime and getting together. I remember it was Andy and a whole bunch of other people that we met for the first time. And it was like we were a family at a family dinner.
Right. Exactly.
It was the most awe-inspiring moment in my history.
It is like that. That's for sure, man. Well described. So whenever Matt Porter meets a fan, he likes saying something like, it's Facebook come to life. Okay. So tell us about how Facebook came to life for you when you met some fans for the first time on the ship. And do you remember who they were? Craig, did you have any of those experiences there?
Yeah, we had basically Pask was my tour guide. He knew them all off by heart. So he was like saying, this is so-and-so, this is Andy, this is Jill. Well, I knew Jill and Mike already, and we saw them on board. And then it was some other guys that were on the Facebook pages. It was just putting things into perspective. Like, you see them on the Facebook as a picture, but now they're real people. So it was really, really cool to put the pictures to the people.
Yeah, that's right. You put a face to it. Rolla?
I really wasn't on a lot of the message boards until after the first KISS cruise. So in the second and third cruise, I think I met a lot of people, and I'm like, it's like you said, it's like, oh my God, there's Melissa Green, and there's Rabonda. And I mean, it's like you said, it's so exciting because you talk to these people all year long about things and what are you going to do and what kind of excursions are you going to take and what's going on with this and what's going on with that. And then when you actually meet them, it's like, it really is like Facebook come to life. I mean,
yeah.
And they, and everybody that I've met is so genuine. They're all exactly as they are on Facebook. It's like, oh, you recognize them right away. So yeah, it's really nice.
It's a great feeling.
And it's like every year I still meet somebody that I haven't met before. I see them in the distance, but I never get over to them. And it's like every year there's somebody different.
Right.
So.
Pask?
My particular experience is really a tribute to the KISS fans. I remember on the KISS Cruise page, I organized a limo trip. So I booked 2 huge limos, and I asked people if they wanted to be a part of it. And I think it was 12 people per limo, 24 people in total. And I basically paid everything up front. And I asked people who wants in, and people told me who was in. And I told them, I'm going to pay up front. When I see you at the limo, you could pay me the money then. I didn't know these people, and they didn't know me. I took a heck of a chance booking this limo and paying out of pocket every penny of it. And this is, don't forget, in American dollars. We're Canadian. That's 35% more, and every single person that said they would show up showed up. It was incredible. And, being in that limo and just talking like we knew each other forever. It was like we continued our Facebook conversations in real time and in person. And that's where I met a lot of my KISS friends. And a lot of us are still friends today. You know, we still keep in touch today. And it started with that one limo trip, you know. So for me, that was the first experience. And obviously, you know, there was a KISS Cruisers pre-party, then there was the KISS Cruise Maniacs pre-party. And oh my God, I remember walking into the Hard Rock Cafe. Hey, Pascal, well, hey, so go. I was like, wow, you know, it was, and it's like we looked at each other. It's like we knew each other. You know, it's like, oh, nice. It's like, oh, nice to meet you. No, we continued where we left off on Facebook. You know, and you know, they always say the first kiss is the best. And I've been to 3 KISS cruises, and nothing matched the experience of the first on so many levels. You know, like Rolla, you know, you keep meeting new friends year after year, cruise after cruise, but it's never like that first time when you meet these people for the first time. We were like KISS pioneers, you know, and we were on an uncharted territory.
Yeah.
And meeting these people, man, was for me one of the highlights of the KISS cruise.
Right. It is so true. You know, well, what else can I say after the? You know, I was wondering, I was thinking as I was listening to you, Pas. So, did you come up with this idea of the limo? So, how did you kind of figure that out? That would be a good way to get to know people there.
I loved the idea of the KISS cruise pages. It really brought people together. And you know, unfortunately now there's a lot of drama in the pages. You know, but that first time it was just love, man. It was, you know, we're just all coming together. Yeah. And I just wanted to do that in real time. I thought, what would be the best way to really meet these people on an intimate level? And there's nothing like being crammed into a limousine, you know. And it was also, I felt it was also like, I remember my thinking process here. It was like our introduction to something really special. It was like being in secondary 5 and going to your grad. You rent a limo, you go in style.
Right.
And that's what I wanted this to be. I want that first experience to be in style with the KISS Cruise family, the KISS Navy.
Yeah, great idea, man. Great idea. Hey, you know, just to wrap it up, you know, I'm with Craig and Rolla. So same here. You know, putting a face to Facebook names. That was quite awesome. You know, I remember I hooked up with people from many people, of course, from South America that I had never met before, and then Europe, and then Canada, of course, and the US. It was fantastic, man. So, you know, I remember my wife and my kids, they were looking at me because I was so happy, and they were saying, hey, do you know this guy? I say, no, this is the first time I met him, but you know, I know him from Facebook and all this stuff. And everybody was so kind, as Rolla's saying, you know, so genuine, you know, the same person, you know, no surprises, you know, everything was so cool. That was awesome.
Nice. So staying on the theme of our first KISS, the KISS Cruise is obviously a place where KISS fans come together. And that's really the best part of the KISS Cruise experience. Do you remember that first big get-together with fans on the ship? Craig?
Listen, it's I remember a lot of them actually when we did things. I remember the crowd, the big thing we did with the Gene meet and greet. And there was some other bands playing before, and during the day there was all kinds of celebrations. I remember there was a big photo op where we had all these people on the stairs. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they had all these people on the stairs, and that was like one of the ones like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Like all these guys get together for the shot, you know. That's basically what I remember.
Okay, Rolla?
Not so much on the first cruise. It was more like a mingle and meet and greet type thing. I know on the second cruise, I had met a lot of cruisers from North Carolina that, you know, we all live probably within the hour and a half of each other. And we all tried to get together and eat dinner at night, you know, at least one time, you know, on every cruise. And we've missed a few, but we try to stay, you know, we try to get together and, you know, just reconnect with each other. And then, you know, I have friends that we always hit the beach together, at least do one excursion together, or do the bar crawl with, you know, Andy and his bunch, you know. That was always always great. So, but we just try to keep connected with each other because it's so, our cruises are so busy and it's so hard unless you sit down and say, hey, we're going to do this night and we're going to make it happen. Because if you don't see each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're everywhere.
Claudio?
Yeah, it is true. It's I remember we were checking the schedule and trying to be in every possible get together event. But I do remember clearly, on the first night. Well, there was always a kind of a KISS karaoke party going on, and I do remember. I don't know. It kind of got stuck in my memory. The first night, that karaoke night was something I will never forget. Everybody singing along, and picking up songs and, having a drink and, hugging and sharing experiences with people that you never met before. That was quite special. To me, that there was no boundaries, as you say, no icebreaker. It's like a family that, members of the family that, it looks like you know them from many years. It's unbelievable. Pass you?
Oh man, it's interesting because every time we talk about key moments, I always go back to KISS Cruise 1. It's funny. For me, it was definitely the big get together. Was definitely that Halloween party. And I've been on other cruises. I keep track of what's going on the cruises that I'm not on, and I don't think any Halloween party topped the first one. It was on the upper deck, outdoors. Everybody was out. Everybody was there. Everybody in costume. It was ridiculous. It was what a crazy party. And just dancing and taking pictures. I dressed up as a six-man sailor in Paul boots. So okay. I was dancing in 7-inch heels and I pulled it off. I don't know how I did that.
I remember that.
Yeah, a lot of people remember that. I'm trying to forget. If you know what I'm talking about. But oh my God, that was just insane. What's that?
I said that was you.
that was I'm turning red. That was me. We'll talk after the show, Rolla.
Cut.
But that was the real first opportunity to really mingle with everybody on the ship, and we literally took hundreds of pictures of everybody, and it's interesting because apart from meeting new people, which is now part of our family, we were all in makeup and in costume, so there was even less inhibitions. And that's what really defined that party. There's no limits, no inhibitions. We just went out there and we became different personas, different people, and it was just it's an experience I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Never forget.
It is true. And one final question related to our first time. So guys, what was your last night like on that ship? Craig?
Well, I remember walking around and didn't want it to end because we had to go back home the next day or flight the next day. Going around because it's such a great time and it was such a surreal experience that I just didn't want it to end, and it's kind of like a bummer, but yet a celebration, right?
Right.
But I just remember that it was such a great time. I wish we could have spent the week.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Rolla?
My cabin mate and I, we went to, there's that little area right outside of the casino that they always have the smaller bands at. And we were there. We were listening to Radio Lucent and the Louis Truitt Band, two little classic rock Southern bands. And both of these guys were awesome. They were both, Georgia boys, from the South like me. And we had some drinks with them and we danced, and I think there were some Swedish guys there, and we just really had a good time. It was a nice, not too crazy, just a nice ending to the cruise. But it's like, he said it was we were kind of a little bummed out because we knew the next morning we were going to be gone.
Right.
But so we were trying to enjoy every minute that we could. So, but it was really nice. And I don't even know if the Swedish guys came back. I don't remember seeing them the next year, but they were a lot of fun. They had us in stitches the whole night. So we had
That's awesome.
yeah.
Ask, what about you?
It actually didn't take place on KISS Cruise 1 this time. This one was KISS Cruise, Craig, I'm not sure if it was 4 or 5, but it was the last night. It was karaoke. And I remember watching the karaoke videos on previous cruises and how much fun it was. And I go,
Yeah.
I got to end my night at the karaoke. And it was myself and Ron Buckley. We did the final song of the evening, and we played "Take It Off."
Okay.
Oh my God, people were dancing. Everybody was in stitches, and oh my God, it's like we were now part of those videos that I was watching, and it inspired me to want to be in the karaoke in the final night.
Of course.
And it was one of those nights. It's like, I don't want to sound arrogant, but we're the center of attention. We're the center of attention, and everybody's having a blast because of us.
Right.
And just putting Ron Buckley and myself together doing that was just right there.
I have to look and see if there's a video on that.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I was
there
going to
is.
say.
There is. Right. I know I have a video. I don't know if I've ever released it, but I know there's a video out there somewhere.
Wow. Oh my God.
Claudio, how about you?
Yeah, well, in my case, we had so much fun, as I said, the first night with the karaoke that, the family, we decided, hey, let's wrap it up, go into the karaoke again the last night. And that's what we did. We hooked up again with the gang, and we had so much fun. But I have to say, I have to agree with Craig. It was a little bit of a bittersweet. We were so happy of having lived that experience. But we were also sad that, it was ending, it was coming to an end. I had the best memories, man. Even that night, even though we were kind of a little bit down, we had so much fun. It was fantastic.
Great. So let's talk meet and greets. Share some of your stories meeting the band. Craig, I know where you're going with this.
Should I really say it?
Yep.
Okay, I got a couple. The first one was on the KISS Cruise, and asked graciously asked me to accompany him to a Gene Simmons meet and greet to sign. He was buying a guitar, and he allowed me to have one autograph. And they lost my luggage, so I didn't have a poster to sign. So I was kind of bummed out about it. We get to meet Gene. How's it going? Okay, everything's good. And I swear to God, Gene would have, if I would have asked him, probably paid for clothes and everything for me to be. It was that close to that conversation. Has to be my witness. He was like just that one step away, saying, "Well, go buy something and I'll pay for it."
Yeah.
And that was a real surreal moment. Later on, they found my luggage and we ran back, and thankfully it came back to the room, and I thought for sure I was not going to get that signed. And then we came back to the room later on in the evening, and Gene had signed it. So it was like, that was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Then on the picture part of it, when you go, we're all there, and Gene, I go to Gene, "Hey, Gene, how's it going? So did they find your luggage?"
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's like, "I know everything." Anyway, so we both stand up for a picture. We got an extra few minutes because Paul was hungry. He went to run off to get something to eat. And we got a little more chit chat with the band, and everything was cool. And then we broke up, and we're walking away, and I go to give Eric Singer a fist bump. And he goes, "No." And remember that? And I said,
"Oh yeah.
Hey man, I paid for this." And he gave me a fist bump, and it was cool after that. That was one of the surreal moments. The other time, meet and greet one was in Toronto when we went to the Vault. And again, Pasca was gracious enough to let me come along. We were in front row, right in front of him. A couple of stories there was we're in the back and we're getting things signed. And he says, he turns to me, Gene, he goes, Craig, you're a powerful and attractive man." And I said, that's why it's good to be me. And he laughed at me, pinched my cheek, and says, "Yeah, don't get smart." We have a picture of that actually, and actually he signed my album, and he actually personalized it, which was really, really nice of him. And those were two of my things that I'll never forget till the day I die. That I'm, humbly gracious to pass for those moments, because those are once in a lifetime things.
Absolutely.
I do really appreciate that, and they were really fun events.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because it's gonna be the last time, Craig. Because every time I bring Craig to a meet and greet, Gene gives him all the attention and gives me nothing. We're standing next to him, Craig and I, with Gene in the middle, and Craig starts talking about his luggage, and the attention goes away from me right to Craig, and they're having this conversation that I'm going, I paid $4,000 for this, and then the same thing at the Vault experience. Craig, it was the album you brought, right?
Yeah.
And Craig wanted this whole big book written on his album by Gene. I go, don't ask Gene to sign that. He won't sign it. It's gonna look bad, Oh, let me try. Gene did it, no problem, pinching his cheeks. You're a powerful, attractive man. I'm going, hello.
I didn't watch that cheek for a week, by the way. Yeah.
Rolla, how about you?
Gene is a character for sure. He gave me some. I was on one of the meet and greets on the ship. I bought a bass, and I think I've told you about this before. Melissa and I walked in, and she's like 5 foot. She's just a little tiny thing, and he looked at her and said, "You're a spinner," and I'm like, I kind of knew what he was talking about, but I didn't know what he was talking about, and with about 2 gestures, he told me exactly what a spinner was, and I think I was red from end to end. And I said nothing else about that, but it was a enlightening experience, to say the least. But he was very sweet, and he gave us lots of hugs, and it was. I will always remember that. Always remember that. It was quite the experience. It really was. And then I bought a painting one year from Paul, and he is. I've never been a huge Paul fan. Of course, I love Paul, but not most people have their favorites. And he actually had me in tears and about my artwork and his artwork, and it was a very heartwarming experience, to say the least.
Okay, Claudia?
I think those are my 2 favorites.
And I also love the way you say Paul. I love that.
Yeah.
I have a question for Rolla before giving my 2 cents. So, but can you elaborate a little bit more on your experience with Paul? So, talking about art, when did that happen? How did it happen?
Well, I showed him on my phone a photo of something I was working on for him. You can see it here, and he commented on it, and he was very sweet. And then when he dedicated his artwork to me, he said, "Make life as beautiful as you are." And it was very,
oh my God, man.
Sweet. And I can get emotional talking about it now, but he was very sweet.
Wow. What an experience. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, in my case, I had met the band before in 94, but, now talking about the cruise, to me, I had the dream to meet the band with my family, with my wife and my kids, because actually they're part of our family, so they are here, my daughter and my son, they call them, Uncle Gene, Uncle Paul, and meeting the band was a dream come true in that occasion on the cruise, and I will never forget that moment as long as I'm alive. And I remember we met Gene and Paul on different occasions on the elevator. We were there. I was there with my daughter, and then Gene comes in, and the first thing that I did, I was looking at my daughter's face, and she, her jaw dropped. She couldn't believe it. And then he started talking to her and say, "Oh, you're very sweet. Did you like the show? Blah blah blah." And she started to cry. She couldn't believe it. And then when I was with my son, we got Paul on the elevator, which was another surreal experience. But when we had the photo with them in full gear, costume and the makeup and everything, that was so fantastic. It was fantastic. So they didn't rush us, as it normally happens. So they spent time with us. Jean was hugging my wife, and playing things and everything. And Paul, the same thing with my daughter. That was fantastic, man. So that's I think what makes the cruise so special. And that's one of the things that I cannot believe that these guys are not taking pictures now. I'm not saying during the pandemic, but in the cruise now that you can't even have a picture with the band. So that's a very unique moment that many people expect, to leave.
Yeah,
I agree.
No, for me, it's the Gene Simmons bass experience. On the KISS Cruise 4, I took Craig and I took my brother Patrick, and remember waiting outside to get into the to the suite, and Tommy Thayer shows up, and we start like talking to Tommy like we're best buds, it was something. But then I remember going into his suite, and we were there for a good 20 minutes, a half hour, just waiting for the experience and then the actual Gene experience. So we were in his private suite for a good 20 minutes to a half hour. And, you look over to my right, and there's Sophie taking some sun. And there's Shannon walking around, razzing Gene, making fun of him. And it's like I'm in the middle of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. Right. It's like, okay, that show's not fiction. This really happens.
Yeah.
And then you just see the way Gene interacts with the fans. And also at the time I was doing my Kiss Army Nation TV videos, and I was interviewing people in line before going into their experience, and I really got a good glimpse of the excitement people felt before going to meet Gene, and then seeing it in front of my eyes, them meeting the band. And then, to finally meet Gene and to shake his hand, and then being ignored because he's giving attention to Craig and less to me,
Can you blame him?
And I remember being so excited. And when he started signing the bass, I was like all over the place. And Christina was telling me, look, he's signing your bass. You have to look. I was like, okay, I'm looking at Gene sign.
I know. I took you where you're like,
yeah. But besides being overwhelmed by the entire experience, I remember taking a moment to stop and reflect on where I am. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm in the suite with Gene Simmons, mm-hmm. and he had these huge bay windows around his suite, and you could see what's happening on the cruise, and I felt like I was part of the inner circle. I felt like I was in a very special place, which I was, and again, I met the band several times in meet and greets, but that's one experience I'll never forget. And it's a common theme with KISS Cruises, it's second to none.
Yeah, it is. It's quite unique.
Guys, one I had forgot to tell you was in '83. I had met the Lick It Up lineup, which was Vinnie Vincent and Eric Carr, right? And I remember going in, and this is the first time meeting them, and here's the paper, please sign, sir, And Paul and Gene didn't give much but a smile. Vinnie Vincent didn't even give any kind of a reaction whatsoever. And then when I get to Eric Carr, he spent like a couple of minutes with me, and I said it on a previous video, that he spent time in it. What songs do you like? Was going, what other bands do you like? And it was, you could tell he was a kid in a candy store that I'm a rock star, and these people actually want my attention, That was one of the good moments too.
Yeah, so you're basically saying that even Eric Carr gave you all the attention, is that right?
An attractive man, what can I say?
Well, I think you should try bringing someone else with you next time. So
maybe.
I can go there if you wish.
I see what you did there.
Hey guys, besides KISS, so can you share some of your experiences meeting other celebrity guests on the ship? Which were the most memorable moments? Meeting some other, band members from other bands, guest bands. Craig, do you have any stories?
Yeah, I have one. Growing up, I was always I always liked Cheap Trick,
Hmm.
and I believe on the cruise, Robin Zander was there, but not the whole Cheap Trick band, but Robin Zander was there. So I had left one of the activities, and I was going down to the room to get something, and I bumped into him. And let me tell you, the guy was like, when he saw me coming down the stairs, he was like, he was like, oh my god, I'm caught, you know. But we had a couple of conversation for about 3-4 minutes, and it was one of the things that I actually enjoyed because they were one of the bands I liked growing up too, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Not the whole band, but Robin Zander is a legend too, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
One other guy, I can't remember what band it was from that we had seen, but it was we had bumped into him, but it was not very much there. But the Robin Zander thing really stood in my mind.
That stands out. Okay. Rolla, what about you?
I would have to say the place to be on the ship at about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon is around the ice cream machine. Everyone kind of goes to get snacks, and I think we met Chris Jericho there, and he's a great guy. He was concerned that he was going to drip ice cream down my shoulder, but I was okay with that. Mm-hmm. And Michael, what is his last name from Steel Panther? Oh,
you're kidding me on that one.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name. I know his name is Michael from Steel Panther. He's a great guy too. We met him there and at the ice cream machine, and just sure, take photos. Let me take photos with you. I mean, just really great guys. So, and then the other, and this guy is totally KISS related. Bruce Kulick, I love him. Oh my God, he is just the most amazing man. I love him. We did the little expo thing and waited in line and got signatures, and he is just a great guy. He's just really, he took time with us and talked to us, and he's just just a great guy.
Yeah, he's quite special. Have you been to all of the KISS cruises, Rolla?
Yes.
Okay. Well, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Pask, what about you? Who did you meet?
To be honest, I didn't go out of my way to meet other celebrities other than KISS. And I'm ashamed to say it, but oftentimes we were at the casino, and you often see celebrities there. And people tell me, "Oh, this is that person, that person, that person." I had no clue. I had no clue. But where I did have a clue was KISS Cruise 1. We were having supper at the restaurant. I guess it was the main restaurant. It went down a level, and huge restaurant. And I turn over, and there's Skid Row.
Sebastian.
Yeah, having supper. It's like, I'm having supper next to Skid Row. No, I didn't talk to them. I didn't get to meet them, but I was having supper with Skid Row. they're right there. So that's one that I really remember.
Cool. That's really cool. In my case, meeting some of the other members of other bands was quite neat too. I do remember meeting Pat Travers. That I love the guy to death. I really like their music, and to me they sound fantastic. And he was really humble, really down to earth. I also remember meeting Marco Mendoza playing for the Dead Daisies, that he also played with Whitesnake in the past. And also the guys from the Big Rock Show, Ryan Cook and Jeremy Asbrook, they were fantastic, so the great experiences with those guys. Very good.
So, keeping on the theme of guest celebrities, other than KISS, who were some of your favorite bands on the KISS cruise, and why? Craig?
On the KISS cruise, I think there was Steel Panther was good. There was also there was another band that did like covers.
The Big Rock Show.
Big Rock
Show.
That's it. Yeah, they were really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Robin Zander was good.
Did Robin Zander play with Tommy Thayer one night?
I think so.
think it was Robinson. Yeah. And I remember it was just an incredible show.
Yeah.
Never heard Tommy play like that before.
Mm.
Rolla, how about you?
I would have to say Ace and the Gene Simmons band, or technically the Ace Frehley band now.
Yeah.
Those guys are great. And Bruce Kulick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Those two shows were quite amazing.
Claudio?
Well, in my case, I do remember. I don't recall if it was Kiss Cruise 3 or 4, but there was a band called Vintage Trouble. Awesome band. They were playing kind of funky soul music, and I remember they played at the Stardust Theater, and it was so unique. So much energy. That was fantastic. Then the Big Rock Show, as I said before, Night Ranger. I do remember Cheap Trick also. And as I said before, Pat Travers. To me, those were the most amazing shows. Of course, after Kiss, but I wasn't expecting to get those bands there, and being so enthusiastic, of seeing other bands. But it's contagious. It's contagious.
For me, the Big Rock Show, definitely, from Kiss Cruise 1, definitely one of my favorites. The Kiss tribute band Priss.
Yeah, okay.
They were really good.
They were good.
Really amazing. Diamonds, they were good. And at the time, I didn't know it, but Montreal-based Crude, the Motley Crue tribute, was playing the Kiss Cruise.
Oh, they're from Montreal?
Yeah, they're from Montreal. At the time, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I found out later.
Wow.
What an amazing band.
They were good.
And they played, I remember they played a small venue. But it was jam-packed, and you felt the energy and the power of the music. Watching at the Stardust is one thing, but in the small venue with that kind of power, it blew me away.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, so it's really those are the bands that come to mind.
Cool. So let's continue talking music here. So, what were some of your favorite deep cuts that Kiss played on the cruise, and which songs could you have liked that they could play? Craig?
Well, I think you know what I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Pat?
Yeah.
Anything from The Elder was a highlight for me when they played The Oath on
The Oath.
I would have liked them to play like the side 4 of Alive 2.
Oh, okay.
In the US, Larger Than Life. I know they did some other stuff, Take Me and King in the Nighttime World, and past cruises are not necessarily the one I went on, but the earlier stuff too, Getaway and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been cool. I think that era,
Yeah.
Even maybe some stuff off at Unmasked too,
Mm-hmm.
Besides Shandy, but maybe Tomorrow, You're All That I Want and stuff like that.
Okay.
Those are the kinds of stuff that I know it's tough to play probably now, but I mean they've done it. With Rock the Nation tour, they played All the Way, they played All American Man, they played a whole bunch of songs that were like not the mainstream, right?
Yeah.
That was to appease the crowd probably during the time.
True.
Still think they should continue that. But
yeah, that's true. Rolla?
I would have to agree with Craig. I mean, the stuff from The Elder, I was like, wow, are they playing that? Flaming Youth was kind of cool to hear that. I know a lot of the songs that they don't play don't necessarily go over live very well, but it was really nice to hear some of those. It was really nice. I would like to hear them play a little Carnival of Souls. A lot of people, people have mixed feelings about that album, but I really like it. It's a little dark, and I would love to hear them play some of that. I mean, Bruce does an awesome job, but it would be awesome to have them do something.
Yeah, to see Paul and Gene playing that. Yeah, absolutely.
Or Rain or something,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Pask, what about you?
Again, going back to Kiss Cruise 1, the band really set the bar high for their electric show on that ship, and that was the show where they really played the most deep cuts. in my opinion, of any other cruise. I don't think it's my opinion. I think it's fact, you know. And I remember an interview with Eric Singer saying how nervous the band was rehearsing for material they'd never played before, because they really want to play something special on the ship. And then I remember after KISS Cruise 1, you know, the threads on the KISS forums and KISS Cruise forums, and people were having all these expectations of where they're going to go from here, and the cuts are going to get deeper and deeper and deeper. And unfortunately, it didn't. And it almost became like a rehearsal for their upcoming tours. Exactly. I found the cruises, you know. But that first show, it just blew my mind with the deep cuts that they played on a KISS Cruise 1. Now, I'm also realistic, you know. There's a lot of songs that KISS may not be able to play because they've never actually played it live. Vocally, they might not be able to perform the song, you know. Maybe it's unrealistic in a short period of time to learn so many deep cuts, you know. But I would like to hear a melody of different songs, of deep cuts, a little bit of everything, you know. And I don't think the band needs to be super rehearsed for KISS Cruise shows. I think for regular concerts and tours, absolutely, I get it. Everything is choreographed to the letter, you know. But I loved the KISS conventions back in '95. Right, they went up on stage and they just played, you know. When Gene played "God of Thunder," the country version, and when they tried different things, they played melodies there as well, you know. And it's like, we'll see what happens after the song, guys. If we make mistakes, we're sorry. We're trying. I wish they would do more of that on the KISS Cruise. Just experiment in front of us. And everything they would have done or they would do would become a moment of history, because it's something that KISS fans would never have seen.
Yeah, I remember watching some of the videos on the convention tour that you're making reference to. And it was so awesome, you know, to see them, like, you know, jamming and people singing the songs. They didn't even remember the lyrics, you know. Wow, that was quite interesting, you know. So some unique moments. Yeah. In my case, you know, the deep cuts that I loved, you know, being there, it's when they played Anything for My Baby, Almost Human, The Oath, for sure, Mainline. I do remember the acoustic on the Sail Away show when they played a little bit of Let Me Know. That was fantastic. That was a quite unique moment. And All the Way also, I remember. And something I could have liked to see, I agree with Craig and Rolla, so something from Unmasked or some deep cut from Dynasty, and even from, you know, something from Revenge or Carnival of Souls. That could have been awesome. But as you say, Pask, it's a little bit unrealistic, but hey, let's dream, you know.
That's right.
Keep dreaming.
Okay, so what about your favorite KISS-related theme? What are your favorites and why, Craig?
Meaning like on the KISS Cruise?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I think we went to the Paul Stanley when he was cooking.
Yes.
That was cool. When Doc McGee was sitting there and he was just off the cuff answering any questions. That was really like on spur of the moment, ask any question. And also the Gene Simmons pick flicking, or that was, and the belly flops for sure. I tried to enter, but my belly's too big.
Rolla, what about you?
I think I have to say Paul's art class. I have tried to get in that art class so bad. I want to be there, but I don't get picked. So, but to me, that's to see Paul walking around and critiquing everybody's work, and he has a little dry sense of humor, but he is very comical, and I enjoyed that every time we go. It's just it's a hoot. It's just great.
Claudia?
In my case, I do remember great memories of Gene, you know, throwing picks to the buckets there in the theater. That was fantastic. Then I do remember, and I liked very much when Paul, he did the review of his book. That was great too. then I really enjoyed the Q&A sessions with the four of them, kind of getting loose and, making jokes to each other. That was kind of fun. And then, as Craig said, Paul, he was a judge, doing the belly flop. And I remember my daughter, she was picked to jump on the pool. And Paul, he gave her a 3, so that she was so sad. I remember, he pulled out a 3 only, But those were the most memorable activities that I remember. Yeah. Pask, what about you, my friend?
I'm a big Paul fan. So I remember when he was talking about his book. That's when John Downs was there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was super fascinating. The book come to life right in front of you. His cooking class, I love that. I loved his interaction with the fans on stage. When they're trying to twirl the pizza and the fans couldn't get it high enough, and the jokes Paul was making, and Rolla, yes, definitely a dry humor, man. It's like he just whack. That was cool. But I remember from KISS Cruise 4, Craig, the Q&A with Doc.
Yeah.
And that was, I don't know. It's like, I felt privy to information that nobody else had access to.
Yeah.
And that was like, ask whatever you want. This is what's happening. And it's like, we are the only people on the planet who knows all of this. Nobody else in the KISS world knows this but us.
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt like we were in an office at a round table discussing KISS. I felt like it was, again, common theme, right? Part of the KISS inner circle, and that's the beauty of the KISS Cruise. They really make you feel part of the family, And it's again, it's an experience second to none.
Big time.
By the way, they were supposed to release Kissology 4 like 6 years ago.
He mentioned Kissology 4, yeah.
I know, yeah. He said,
I remember.
Anytime soon. Still waiting.
Still waiting and still hoping.
Exactly.
Keep dreaming again.
Yeah.
So, Rolla, go ahead.
I said, maybe Craig can make it happen.
Yeah,
Exactly.
correct. Talk to Gene.
Yes,
That's it.
talk to Gene.
You can
it's
think the other cheek if you want.
as expected, this episode is so much fun, and we could easily, we can run a marathon, because we all have so many memories to share. So, but to wrap up, I have one final question for the panel. So we cannot talk KISS Cruise without mentioning the incredible efforts of the 6-man team. So, what was your experience like with the 6-man team? So, is there any particular member that stand out, for you, Craig? What are your memories in that?
Pascal, what's the name of that blonde girl that we met? Remember at the KISS show too? And you said those, and they give us the tickets.
6-man Alex.
That's it, Alex. She was a phenomenal person. We went to a show, me and Pascal. We had last row tickets. Basically, what are those ants up on the stage? And they got up and they left the show and they gave us the tickets. So we were like down in 3rd row, remember? And I think he pointed at me on that show too, remember? He said, hey, Craig's here. I'm joking. But no, that person and the guy with the beard, I can't remember his name either.
Was it Cappy or something like
Cappy, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, phenomenal. And they were just out there to mingle with people. They were really friendly, really outgoing. And just awesome people. Hats off to them.
Rolla, what about you?
I can't say enough about 6-man, their whole crew. I mean, anytime I have any questions or any issues with scheduling or just anything, I mean, they're right there. They know the answers. They know how to help you. They do it with a smile. Even though you can't see them, you hear it in their voice. I mean, they're just, all of them. Alex was great. 6-man Victoria is great on the site now. And I just can't say enough great things about them. I mean, they've just been amazing. They really have. They do their job well, and they love it. They love what they do.
Yeah, exactly. That's the feeling. Exactly. Yeah. Pask?
I'm sorry, but Kiss fans are the best Kiss fans in the world, but they're also the most difficult Kiss fans in the world, the most demanding Kiss fans in the world. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in the sense that you really need to understand the Kiss fan mentality. And I think that's the amazing thing about Sixman. They really try to understand the band. And it's something that Craig alluded to, with Sixman Alex. That was back at the Massachusetts Kiss show. Yeah. And they had no idea who KISS was. At that point, the KISS Cruise had been organized and booked and everything. And they were still learning who the band was. So that was their first KISS experience. And they were on the fourth row, and they sat for 4 shows. We were on the floor, 30th row. It wasn't having a good time. It's like, we weren't part of the party, And they came around, they saw us, gave us a ticket, 4th row center. Wow. And then Gene pointed to us, like, I think they thought we were Sixman, because Gene sort of acknowledged us from the stage. But that was like the beginning of, they're getting to know KISS and getting to know the fans. And you see it online on the pages. It's all about trying to understand the fans. And it's not just lip service. I believe it was KISS Cruise 4. They actually had a Q&A session with Sixman, and any fans that was interested, they want to hear from us what we liked about the cruise, what we didn't like, what changes we'd like to see, themes and all that. And they just sat. It was a good 2-hour discussion that they didn't have to do. They're the experts, they're the organizers, but they took the time out of their busy schedule to talk to the everyday fan to see what we wanted on the cruise. Yeah. And you could argue the better the experience, the more money they make. Yeah, okay, fine. But no, it's about making the KISS fan happy. And we see it often. I agree with Rolla. They do it with a smile, and they have so much patience, and they know how to talk to us, because it would be so easy to clash. But it never happens, or it rarely happens, because they know how to talk to fans, because they understand us. And we're not trying to be difficult. We just aren't. But we're not trying to be difficult. I'm talking fans in general here. But we know what we want. KISS fans know what they want. And Sixman tries to provide it. And, hats off to them. I really commend them for that.
Yeah, well, I have to second that. What you just said, Pascal, Rolla, and Craig. I have the same feeling. To me, it was fantastic, very professional, extremely helpful, knowledgeable, and always with a smile. And you could, one of the good things is that you could see, and Rolla, she's the best, to kind of as a witness, because she's been in every single cruise, that they were learning, and they were basically listening to what the fans had to say in order to kind of, solve things or make it better, and this doesn't happen too often. Sometimes when an event is done and finished, they move on and they don't care, but these guys, they listen. So they applied a lot of solutions that the fans were requesting. And that's the beauty of it, So that's why, people keep going. Yeah.
So in closing, and before I make my closing remarks, just a little bit off script, Rolla, you're going on KISS Cruise 10?
Yes.
Now it's interesting because, KISS Cruise 1, it was a totally different and new experience. And ironically, with KISS Cruise 10, it's a new experience again because of COVID. So how do you feel about the upcoming KISS Cruise? What are your expectations for the cruise?
Part of me is it's bittersweet, because if this indeed is the last cruise, a lot of our friends are not going to be there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, I think a lot of us have talked about, why not postpone it to next year? But at the same time, I don't want to postpone it to next year, because then that's just postponing the last cruise for another year. It's going to be bittersweet. Some of these people we may never see again, other than on Facebook. I would like to hope that, there's been some talk of maybe reunion get-togethers in New York or on other cruises and things like that. And I think that's an awesome idea. And I hope that all those things happen, because we've made so many friends, you know, along the way. And it's like you guys have said, we're all family. And it's like, you know, you may not see part of your family again.
Mhm.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this was I want to say a fun episode, but I want to also say was an emotional one.
It was indeed.
I'm not going on the KISS Cruise, and this time it wasn't because of work. I actually had permission 2 years ago to go, but I decided not to for various reasons. And just having this talk now, and Rolla, what you just said, I'm having regrets. It's like
Me too.
looking back on our experiences, and we've just been on. So I've been on 3. Craig, how many have you been on?
1.
1, and Claudia?
2.
And Rolla, 9. Just imagine that on all of the cruises. And yeah, this is going to be maybe the last one. And we're never going to experience anything like this again, you know? And I wish the fans going on the cruise this year the best. I hope despite everything, they make it the best experience they're ever going to have. And I know that Sixman is going to make sure that this is going to be an incredible experience for the fans. So I really want to wish the KISS Navy a fantastic trip, a fantastic time. And I think despite the changes and the times that we're living in right now, it's going to be one of the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that too. And I second that, Pascal. You know, this has been a great episode, and I remember when KISS first announced, you know, that they were going to do a cruise. I remember thinking to myself, "What is this, man? So how come a KISS cruise?" And now we're, 10 years later, sharing all these memories and experiences that are so great. And again, it's so cool to confirm once again that we all live KISS the same way. Because, you know, no matter who you talk to, we go through the same experiences, the same emotions, you know, on a cruise. And that's, it's nice to be a KISS fan, man. It's great to be a KISS fan. And I'm so happy to have the chance to share this episode with you guys. And again, I wish, you know, everybody who's going to the KISS Cruise 10 all the best, you know, enjoy to the best you can. It's going to be a fantastic moment. It's going to be great. Craig, any final comments on your side?
Yeah, I wish we all could go. You know, this COVID thing puts a stick in the wheels for everybody. I just wish them a great time. I wish them a great closure on it. I think that unfortunately pictures and stuff like that in contact with the band, since, you know, Gene and Paul did contact both too, they're going to be probably extra careful with that now for the other band members also. Unfortunate, like Rolla was saying, that people that knew each other can't get together because of they can't get there, whatever the case may be. Maybe they might put an 11 to compensate for that. I'm not sure.
Hopefully,
hopefully could do that, and we all could go, which that was something that would find.
Well, let's make a promise, man. If there's an 11, we all go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We have to go. Rolla, how about you? Some closing remarks?
I'm just like you guys. I hope, you know, I know we all want life to get back to normal, and it's like I said, this is, you know, I haven't been anywhere since 2020 really, and so I'm excited about this cruise, but at the same time, I'm going to miss all you guys that aren't going to be there, and that's the sad part. So I'm hopeful that maybe they'll do another one, just you know, so we can all be there and have one last chance to be together.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they will do another one. So hopefully, but you know, if that's not the case, you know, have the best of time, Rolla. You know, we're all gonna be there with you. So we're gonna see through your eyes, and when you're back, we're gonna have another episode, and you can tell us all about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great.
Fantastic.
Have fun.
So on behalf of Claudio and myself, thank you so much, Craig and Rolla, for helping us down memory lane. It's really been an amazing journey. Thank you.
Thank you. We enjoyed it.
So to the KISS Navy, thank you so much for listening. And for those of you who have gone on the KISS Cruise, we hope that you enjoyed this episode and that it has brought back memories for you as well. I hope to see you all soon. And in the meantime, remember, never stop rocking. Take care, everyone.
Ciao, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
The KISS Army Nation podcast has partnered up with Click T-Shop to offer our listeners a high-quality t-shirt with graphic design by Xander Graphics. Check out Click T-Shop at clickteeshop.com.